Welcome back, everybody. You are watching NorCal Sports TV, the West Coast Private University Lacrosse Showcase here at Kennelly Field on the campus of Dominican University of California. We're getting ready for Game 2 between the Concordia Eagles and the Biola Eagles. Forrest Hunt alongside Ethan Estrada. And, we got the Battle of the Birds here in Game 2.
Gotta love a good dogfight, especially.
Well, it's a bird fight.
Well, the aerial duels between planes is known as a dogfight.
Okay. Oh, you're right. You are right. That is right. All right, Concordia University of Irvine Eagles, they're wearing all green. And Biola, they're in the red and black here at Kennelly Field. It was an exciting Game 1. Dominican beating Notre Dame de Namur by a score of 6-4.
It really was, and it looked like Dominican was going to run away with it in the first half. Then all of a sudden Notre Dame played the slow game, and on a slow burn they were able to get right back into the game, 5-4. Just a heartbreaking last-second goal by the Penguins, and all they had to do was run out the clock. So hopefully this game between Biola and Concordia Irvine can live up to what we saw in Game 1.
Oh, Game 1 was fun. It was a 4-0 Dominican lead at halftime, and then you saw Notre Dame score 4 goals in the second half. As you said, that heartbreaking, the back-breaking goal was scored with just over 2 minutes to go, and from then on out, Dominican was able to milk the clock. We have 20 minutes overhead, and something that we talked about, you and I talked about all week coming into this lacrosse showcase, is the new rule of the 80-second shot clock, and it really wasn't a factor there in that first game.
It really didn't play a factor until the last possession when the Penguins wanted to milk the clock, and they were able to do that with 80 seconds left on the shot clock. So it hasn't been much of a factor, but we'll see how it contributes to this Biola and Concordia game.
Biola will be off to our right, Concordia off to our left. Well, it was very cold when we got here this morning. It has warmed up just a little bit. It's 69 degrees here in San Rafael on the campus of Dominican University of California. Game 2 of 6. We're here all day, folks. So if you're watching NorCal Sports TV, you're watching the West Coast Private University Lacrosse Showcase, and don't go anywhere because we will be here all day. The last game here today at Kennelly Field is scheduled to start at 3 p.m., and that'll be the Notre Dame versus Biola. Dominican versus Biola, that last game of the day. So we have the captains on the field. We're getting ready for position. Who's going to be on what side? 20 minutes overhead. And there's a lot of physicality there in that first game, Ethan. It was the physicality tone was set by Notre Dame in the first half, and then Dominican really took over the physicality in half number 2.
We didn't really see a lot of hard body checks, but there were plenty of hard stick checks, especially from the Notre Dame defense in that first half. And the Penguins, of course, picked up the physicality as the game went on because the Penguins' best defense was their offense in that first half, and they finally had to play some defense. But stick checks have been fun to watch so far today.
They really have, and especially on the defensive side, the defenders have the longer sticks. And it's going to be the Concordia University of Irvine Eagles under head coach Brian Cooper taking on the Biola Eagles under head coach Aaron Collette. Both teams huddled up, almost ready to go. Game 2 of the West Coast Private University Lacrosse Showcase. Referees blow their whistles. They say, let's go, as both teams are getting hyped up. Game 2.
That's one thing that I noticed about lacrosse teams. They get very hyped up. When they get hyped up, they get extremely hyped up. And it actually exudes a lot of energy for everybody else watching the game.
Well, we got here this morning when we parked in the parking lot. Dominican was already here, of course, their home field, and they were warming up. And they're yelling and screaming. They're already pumped up, and we had 74 minutes until the game started. So, that's the type of energy that you're going to see here in this second game of the day between Concordia and Biola. The two teams are on the field. They're lining up. They're about ready to get going. Biola wearing the red jerseys, white numbers. Concordia Eagles, green jerseys and white numbers as they take their respective sides. And I thought maybe initially there's a little talk. They just had their sides mixed up, Ethan. They were crossing paths as I didn't know what was going to happen, if there was any talk going on. Of course, we can't hear them from where we are here on the sideline. I was thinking, was it getting a little chippy there? No, it was not. As the goalkeepers will head to their respective cages for Concordia. That is going to be Tyler Schwiekert, the sophomore. And then for Biola, Caleb Koopman. The two goalkeepers. Koopman, the freshman out of Grand Rapids, Minnesota. Face off right at midfield.
I believe that's Grand Rapids, Michigan.
Michigan, not Minnesota. I saw the M. Ready for the face off. That's Ethan Espiritu for Concordia, and we'll get the Biola player once we can see his number. The face off. There's the whistle. We're ready to go. It was won by Concordia, and that was Garrett Scannell on this side for Biola on the face off. So here goes Concordia on offense off to our left on the southern side of Kennelly Field. Far side for Concordia, that is Brandon Mayo. Already have worked it behind the crease here, Ethan. That's something that we saw in the first game a lot of stick checking going on, working into the middle. That's Sean Goodell. He's forced out by the Biola defense. 80-second shot clock just restarted as Biola has taken over possession now. Defenseman for Biola working up toward midfield. That's Jacob Mendoza. A lot of stick checking going on. Here's Biola on the near sideline. Harrison Langer now. Langer very tall. He's 6'4", 6'5". Well, that's the tallest lacrosse player I've ever seen, Ethan. And he's nimble as well. Behind the cage goes Biola. That's Shaw, far sideline. Biola working it, trying to work it in. That's Joshua Choi. And back out front. Good defense so far by Concordia.
Good defense so far for Concordia, and Biola being very patient, working it around the world to try to find a crease early on down the middle.
There's Newport behind the cage to the far side. Good defense, a good stick check there by Concordia. That is Samuel Beeson. Check it, Vasu. Vasu on the hard stick check, and well, he's dewanded. That's Biola's Jacob Newport who was dewanded. Lost the stick. Loose ball. Concordia has it across midfield. And on a fast break now, here's Jacob Aho. Pass intended left side going behind the cage. Shot and pass actually intended for Brandon Mayo. That goes out across the far sideline. It'll be possession Biola. Looked like Concordia had something working there. They came left side, near side of the field, went behind the cage. Mayo was streaking in toward the crease, and the pass was just a bit too high.
And quite unfortunate because he would have had a perfect shot on goal.
Here's Harrison Langer right in the middle of the field. And a lot of stick checking from Connor Reed defensively. Oh, he looked like he got him right on the top of the helmet. Langer somehow evades the defender. Langer's holding onto the ball. He has it taken away. Ball's rolling around. Picked up by Biola. Near sideline, Biola shot, and that's a goal. What a shot from Biola. One hopped right through the legs of the goalkeeper. That is Joshua Choi. Right through the legs of Tyler Schweikert, and just like that, Biola's on the board 1-0.
Nothing Schweikert could do about that one. That ball had eyes. It just found the right hole to go right between Schweikert's block attempt and found a near corner.
I believe in hockey, they call that the zero hole in hockey, right between the legs. Another face-off right here in midfield. Ethan Espiritu facing off. He won the face-off the first time for Concordia. Just under 17 minutes to go. Still here in the first half. Concordia on the board in the first 3 minutes. Espiritu wins the face-off again. This time the face-off was against Garrett Scandell. Concordia with it far sideline. Brandon Mayo. He had an opportunity earlier. A pass was intended for him just out of the reach of his stick. What seemed like he would have had an easy shot on goal. Concordia straight away. That's Zachary Carter. Carter pushing in left side. Carter shot, and that's in. What a shot by Zachary Carter from the left side. Finds the top shelf.
Beautiful shot, especially on the move.
Yeah.
He was on the run when he took that shot, and he just found the far corner.
Top shelf right above the hands of the goalie, Caleb Koopman, the freshman. So Concordia answers with a goal of their own in less than a minute. Took them 54 seconds to respond, and we're tied at 1. Another face-off. Nick Flores for Concordia this time. New face-off man for the Eagles. The Eagles in green, I should say. Concordia the Eagles, Biola the Eagles. Got a bunch of Eagles. Bunch of people flying around Kennelly Field. Flores wins the face-off. Here he comes near side. You see Flores. He gives way to Andrew Bloom. Couple of substitutions. Bloom throws it over to the newly checked in Jacob Aho. Concordia far side. A little more method this time around.
Last time Concordia just took a wild shot and were able to get a goal.
Here goes Logan Perry again, and boy, that one's about a foot over the pipe, very close.
And this time Concordia played it much more methodical, but they tried to get the same shot off that they scored the first time on the goal, but a little bit too far across the top pipe.
Another shot, that was deflected, shot by Brandon Mayo, and a nice deflection by Caleb Koopman, the keeper. Stick check right here at midfield. Biola with it, that's Jacob Mendoza. He gives it off. Jonathan Shaw down behind the cage. And now Jacob Newport. Biola being patient, working it around on the attack.
It looks like Concordia is playing much more of a zone defense, not really playing a strong man-to-man like we saw Dominican play in game one.
Yeah, you're definitely right. They have just shifting with the movement of the ball as you watch Concordia. They almost shift in unison, like they have a rope tied to each other. That's exactly what you want to see if you're running that zone defense as well. You want to move as if you guys are all connected in a way. Here's Biola behind the goal. That's Jacob Newport. Pass in. And it's knocked away. Picked up by the Concordia defense. That's Cade Christensen. Back to the keeper, Tyler Schweikert. And Concordia on the attack on the far side. Up across midfield, Logan Perry. Pass into the right side. A lot of stick checking. Good defense there by Biola. That's Garrison Thompson on defense, really forcing Mayo away from the cage. 13.5 minutes to go here in the first half. We're tied at 1. And 2 very quick goals for both sides. And ever since then, it's been a little quiet. Here goes Andrew Bloom down the right side, back up top to Logan Perry. Pass over to Bryce Tanner. Tanner loses it for a moment, then gets it back. He'll give it off once again to the teammate, Logan Perry. Perry around the right side. Good defense by Austin Gowecki, forcing him out, and a loose ball. That's picked up by Biola. Josh Bernstein has it. He'll give it back to his goalie, Caleb Koopman. He'll flip the field and come near side on one hop. Could not handle it. That is Jacob Mendoza, and then he does pick it up, and he's stick checked, and the ball is loose. Here goes Concordia on a fast break. Connor Reed, his pass in. The shot is no good. That's shot by Tanner Jones. Tried the one-hop shot. Caleb Koopman got a piece. Another shot off the near pipe. A couple of shots back-to-back for Concordia, and they could not capitalize. 12.5 minutes to go.
Concordia hitting a little bit of streak of bad luck, hitting the far pipe on that shot, and then the initial shot just one hop too far, one hop too high, and bounced over everything.
Here's Daxton Allison holding his cross in his right hand. Now picks it back up with 2 hands on the left side of the cage. Can't find an open lane. Concordia so far has done a nice job at not really pressuring the cage, Ethan, if they don't have an open lane to shoot. Here's the shot, and that is saved. The shot by Jacob Aho. Saved by Caleb Koopman. Koopman being chased down from behind. Pass almost intercepted. Intended for Jacob Mendoza. Mendoza across the midfield line.
I actually really enjoy watching Concordia play defense. They're very, I don't know, there's just something about it, the way that they're able to create space in terms of keeping Biola away from the crease.
It's graceful. They move in unison. Here's Jacob Newport. Biola with it straight away. There's Harrison Langer, all 6'5" of them. He's a big boy running around on the offensive attack for Biola. Behind the goal, Jonathan Shaw working around to the far side of the cage. Good defense by Concordia. And like you said, they don't really pressure unless you get real close. They kind of let you create your own mistakes like there. Langer able to get a stick on it. Once you get about 15 yards out, then they'll start to pressure. Langer's pass is intended for almost nobody on the far sideline. Choi picks it up. They'll stick check you, but they're not going to get real physical unless you get real close. That is Concordia on defense. Tanner Myatt straight away. Here's Choi again. Shot on one hop, and it goes wide. A flag is thrown. Whistles have been blown. As on both knees was Joshua Choi. As our officials relay the penalty.
I think we got unnecessary roughness on Daxton Allison, number 23. He's definitely the big physical presence in the middle of the defense. He's called off by head coach not liking that personal foul.
Yeah. It's going to be Biola ball behind the cage on the near side off to our right. 10 minutes to go here in the first half, and we're tied at 1. Both goals were scored within a minute and a half of each other. And since then, nothing. Shot left side, Langer. That's off the stick of the keeper, Tyler Schweikert, and out of bounds.
Great save by Schweikert because that had a lot of velocity behind it.
Langer's a tall, lanky guy, and he can create some momentum and some velocity. Another shot's wide. Biola ball once again. He can create some velocity, really whip that stick around, and we saw that there, and you mentioned the great save by Tyler Schweikert. Biola behind the cage now. Jonathan Shaw up to Langert again. Now Gawecki. Right side Choi behind the cage. Once again for Biola. That's Garrett Scannell. Far side Langer loses control for a moment, then picks it up. Now tight defense by Concordia. Seems they're only going to really attack if you make mistakes. Here's another shot. Saved. That's Tyler Schweikert again. He's pretty good in the cage, Ethan, with 9 minutes to go, 1-1.
Schweikert and Koopman looking very good early on, giving up a goal apiece in the first minute and a half, but after that, both defenses have nailed down.
Concordia on the attack now, far side, now right straight away. That's Woolery. The Eagles in green and the Eagles in red. Concordia, University of Irvine. And Biola. You're listening or you're watching to the West Coast Private University Lacrosse Showcase on NorCal Sports TV. 8.5 minutes to go in the first half. Concordia's Andrew Bloom with it. Right side, Sean Goodell. Pressuring in toward the crease behind the cage. Good defense by Biola so far. The shot, and it wasn't really a shot. He was knocked out of his cross, Ethan. And good defense by Biola. He reached back like he was going to shoot it. He was in the process of taking a shot, and the good defense knocked it out.
That was the equivalent of a sacked fumble in football. Quarterback going for the pass for the touchdown, but instead the defensive end knocks it out.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Here's Zachary Carter straight away. Concordia really trying to penetrate this Biola defense, and they did it in the first few minutes. Haven't had much luck since. Behind the cage, that's Bloom. Coming around near side, Bloom looking for a lane, can't find it. The pass over to Mayo. The shot was good. They're going to wave it off. They're going to wave off the goal. A penalty called on Concordia. So the goal will not be good. It's still 1-1, 7.5 minutes to go. Biola on defense, they have it. The goalkeeper, Caleb Koopman, out of the crease now, about halfway up to the midfield line. Biola on the far side, now on the attack. Josh Bernstein has it taken away. Far sideline. Hayden Greco into the middle. His pass to Woodard, and he makes a man miss. Now the tight defense as he faked the pass, and he faked everybody out on Biola. Nobody knows that he has the ball. His pass in, and a nice save. Tanner Jones is shot, and a good save right off the chest on one hop of Caleb Koopman. 6:45 to go here in the first half. Langer up right now, crossing the midfield stripe. Langer comes near side. Concordia is not going to press you, Ethan, if you're 30 yards away from the cage. You get in 15 to 20 yards, then they'll start to stick check you. From here, they're just letting you run around and really waste your own energy. 6.5 minutes to go.
And they're two varying defenses in terms of Concordia playing a lot more Biola playing a lot more man-to-man and being a lot more physical. Concordia playing a lot more zone and being very patient.
Here's Mason Roth on the near side, flips the field far side to Cade Christensen. Concordia bringing it across the midfield stripe. That's Logan Perry. Passes it off right side, pass inside. Oh, what a shot and what a goal by Tanner Jones. Right in front of the crease, he caught the pass and flipped it behind his head for the goal. What a shot by Tanner Jones.
That's what I'd call cheeky. He definitely fooled Koopman on that one. No chance Koopman was going to be able to get that.
Cutting across the crease from near side to far. He caught the pass, flipped it behind his head. Caleb Koopman had, like you said, no shot. 2-1 Concordia, 5.5 to go here in half number one. Game 2 of the West Coast Private University Lacrosse Showcase on NorCal Sports TV. Dominican beat Notre Dame in game 1 by a score of 6-4. Dominican led 4-0 at halftime. Here we have a 2-1 score with 5 minutes to go. Concordia on offense again. Shea Woolery, left side, right side, shot by Brandon Mayo is good. What a shot by Mayo, and just like that, in less than a minute, has gone from the last goal for Concordia. They are now up 3-1.
They just found the weakness of the Concordia defense is right in front of that crease. Koopman not having a lot of success with close range shots right now.
Both shots from about 10 yards. The first shot, that shot by Perry was right in front of Koopman. And that time, about 10 yards out. Here's Concordia once again on the offensive attack. Woodard over to Perry. Concordia backing out now, setting up their offensive attack. That's Brandon Mayo, who just scored the last goal from Concordia. And the Concordia Eagles lead the Biola Eagles 3-1 with 4 minutes to go. Left side, here's Perry. Shot is good. Upper deck once again for Logan Perry. That's his second goal of the first half. It's 4-1.
Well, Concordia found the weakness, and now they're going to exploit it as much as they possibly can. And Perry with his second goal of the first half, and it looked like this was going to be a very close game, but instead Concordia looking like they're going to start running away with it.
Yeah, the goalkeeper, Caleb Koopman, the freshman out of Grand Rapids, Michigan, like you said. Not Minnesota, Michigan. Having trouble with this Concordia attack, and it was methodical to start out. Now they're just going right at Koopman.
Concordia changed their game plan, and all of a sudden the Biola defense can't figure out how to stop it.
Concordia once again wins the faceoff. That's Ethan Espiritu. Espiritu far side to Mayo. Mayo's got a couple of goals, huh? One so far as he works behind the cage. Defense on Mayo is Jacob Mendoza. Here's a shot. That one's blocked. A shot by Prince Tanner. Ball back at midfield being kicked around. Nobody has it yet. Loose ball. Biola's got it. That is Jacob Newport. Newport down the far sideline. Working around the cage. Defense by Kendall Matthews. Newport behind the cage. Letting his attackers catch up with him. And straight away, good defense by Concordia. Working is Austin Gowecki. His pass goes over the head of Tanner Myatt. Here's Myatt. Near side pass goes to Jonathan Shaw. Concordia is not letting Biola really get anywhere near the cage. Biola is doing what Dominican was doing in that first game, trying to work behind the cage, come from back to front with it, and it's just not working. The Concordia defense isn't suffocating, but they're doing a good job keeping him away. 20 seconds on the shot clock for Biola. Newport still has it way behind the cage. Good defense by Kendall. He made a miss. The pass in. The shot is blocked. Shot was taken by Garrett Scannell, and it wasn't blocked by the goalkeeper, though. It was blocked by the defense of Concordia. 1 minute and 40 seconds here in the first half. That pass goes way over the head of Jackson Woodard. As you hear the official blow the whistle as it goes out of bounds, it'll be Biola possession with a minute and a half to go.
Poor pass by Kendall Matthews. He wanted to try to maintain the momentum gained on that fast break, but didn't really have time to control himself and compose himself enough to make a strong pass.
4-1 Concordia over Biola here at half number 1. Biola working it behind the cage once again. Jacob Newport now far sideline. That's Langer. Langer's an easy one to pick out if you're watching. 6'5". By far the tallest player on the field. Pass deflected by the Concordia defense. Langer gets it back. Langer on the far sideline. A lot of stick checking going on. Langer's tied up. Now gets free. That's Hank Bass on the defense for Concordia, and that's the most physical we've seen a Concordia defender so far.
Especially on Langer. Langer has a lot of service area to stick check.
Near sideline, Biola still on offense with 22 seconds to shoot. That's Jonathan Shaw. Pass far side, trying to keep it inbounds was Joshua Choi. He does so. Nice play by Choi, but they only have 12 seconds to shoot. Does Langer see the shot clock? Here's Goecki, 8 seconds. He loses the ball, 5 seconds. Right side, 3. Moving in, Goecki. Does he see the shot clock? He doesn't. Shot clock expires, and that is a turnover. And now the first half has come to an end. So that's the first time that we've really seen anybody not be aware of the shot clock.
And that's the problem with a brand new rule. You're not really aware of it, especially when you're down 4-1 and you want to come back. Your first thought is, let's just stay on offense. Let's be methodical. Let's try to get right back into this game. Your first thought is, of course, not the shot clock. Unless, of course, you're basketball, and it's been a rule forever.
Right.
But, of course, lacrosse just coming in this year, and Concordia began to run away with it, and their defense has been superb.
Well, also, when the shot clock expired, just 2 seconds left in the game clock in the first half, so you think you might want to pressure him a little bit to try and get another goal, as Concordia leads 4-1 over Biola at the end of the first half. 4.5 minutes till we come back with half number 2. You're watching the West Coast Private University Lacrosse Showcase on NorCal Sports TV. Half number 2 in 4.5 minutes. Welcome back, everybody. You're watching NorCal Sports TV, and you're watching the West Coast Private University Lacrosse Showcase. Game 2 of 6. We're at halftime, about a minute and 10 seconds until we begin half number 2. The Concordia University of Irvine Eagles lead the Biola Eagles 4-1, and Ethan, there for that first 10 minutes, it was 1-1, both goals being scored in a minute and a half of each other, and we were thinking, you know, this one might be a little tighter. We saw Dominican get out to that 5-1 lead in game number 1 over Notre Dame, and we thought, you know what, it might not be a game like that. This one might be close, and, well, it is only a 3-goal lead for Concordia, but some would say a 3-goal lead's not that much in lacrosse, but they really did look dominant the last 10 minutes of that first half.
Concordia's defense has been fantastic so far in this game. They're playing a lot more of a zone kind of defense, creating space while pushing Biola away from the crease and allowing their goalkeeper to see everything. And I think that's why Concordia's had a lot more success on defense. Well, on the other hand, Biola's been a lot more physical and a lot more man-to-man. And once their defense cracks, Concordia's been able to take advantage. And also, what also hurt the Biola defense is Concordia changed their game plan. At the beginning, they were a lot more methodical, passing the ball around a lot more. And then all of a sudden, something switched, and they became a lot more aggressive and starting to take shots far from the goal and even really close, and Koopman could not recover.
Well, as the horn sounds, we're about ready for half number 2 with Concordia leading 4-1. And something that I just took away from what you just said is Concordia's defense is pushing the Biola offense out, really letting Tyler Schweikert see what Biola's attack is going to be. And you mentioned Biola's man-to-man defense, more physical. They're not really doing all they can to help Caleb Koopman in the cage.
And that's one thing, because Biola's defense, once Concordia starts to get closer to the crease, they start compressing towards the goal, and that's not a good thing, because now Koopman can't examine the field like Schweikert's able to do on the other side as Concordia continues to push the Biola offense out.
Yeah, it's really getting in the way of the vision of Caleb Koopman as we switch sides. Concordia attacking from our left to right now, and Biola will be going from our right to left. Face off at midfield. Out there for Biola for the face-off, Garrett Scannell. And for Concordia, I believe it's Nick Flores. Referee, once our official steps aside, we'll be able to see the number for sure on the jersey of the Concordia Eagle. Eagles versus the Eagles here in Game 2. Game 2 of 6 here on NorCal Sports TV. About ready for the face-off, half number 2, 20 minutes on the clock. And remember, 80-second shot clock. And winning the face-off is Concordia, and that is Nick Flores. Flores pushes it upfield, Mason Roth. And Concordia being a little more aggressive. Nifty behind-the-back pass from Jackson Woodard. On the far side, that's Daxon Allison. How about that pass there, Ethan, by...
One thing about Concordia, they've also been very creative today. Yeah. We saw a goal shot from behind the head, and now that behind the back pass, Concordia being very tricky today.
That goal you're talking about, Logan Perry, he was streaking in toward the crease, caught the pass, flipped it behind his head. Here's Perry once again, right side, gives way, top of the crease. That's Goodell. Goodell working right side, still working right side, even with the cage now. Behind the cage for Concordia, Daxton Allison being a little more patient. They've already had a shot on goal, so the shot clock has reset. We have 65 seconds, and we have a whistle blown by the official on the far sideline. And it was an official timeout. I believe he wants the shot clock reset. And there was not a shot taken. So game clock still rolling, 18:50 to go, and the shot clock has been reset to 15. And we will start play on the whistle, and there's the whistle. Straight away, Logan Perry, he's only got 12 seconds to shoot now. Right side, shot off the far pipe. Logan Perry very close, missed by inches.
And see, this is exactly what I mean. Once Concordia starts pushing towards the goal, it becomes a mosh pit in front of Koopman. While on the other side, Concordia is able to allow their goalkeeper to see a little bit better.
Yeah, they spread out. Here's Jacob Aho working on Langer Aho. Right in front of the cage. Pass off right side. Now back across. Shot is wide from Brandon Mayo. Mayo's had a goal so far in this game, too. Concordia retained possession. Jackson Woodard behind the cage, working far side now. Spins, tries to spin around Langer. Langer covers so much ground, Ethan. We talked about it, and he's 6'5".
Covers a whole lot of ground and hard to see around him.
Yeah, his checks, they'll hit you right in the mouth. So we have whistle and a push-off. It'll be Biola ball. Warding off his defender. 17-30. to go in this second half of game 2. Near side Woodard waiting for his offense to catch up. Here's Mayo. Brandon Mayo, the senior, behind the cage, working on his defender, Garrison Thompson. Concordia with a now loose ball, fighting for it, still loose. Concordia Eagle on the turf, now stands up, ball still bouncing around. Nobody has it yet, and a big check. What a hit from Zachary Carter as he lays out a Biola defender. And that was Tanner Myatt that was rammed to the turf. We have a whistle by our official on the far sideline, and he blows the whistle to resume play. Concordia still with possession, 40 seconds on that shot clock. Jacob Aho right near side. The pass intended for Zachary Carter over the head and toward the far sideline as it goes out. Possession will go to Biola. 16 and a half minutes to go. 4-1 Concordia over Biola. You're watching the West Coast Private University Lacrosse Showcase on NorCal Sports TV. Official blows the whistle. Biola now on the attack. Biola attacking from our right to left. So switch sides here in half number 2. Straight away for Biola, that's Austin Gowecki. Concordia really had a lot of the attacking possession in the last 10 minutes of that first half, Ethan, as they scored 3 of their 4 goals in the last 10 minutes.
And much of the first 5 minutes here today. And I love watching the Concordia defense, a very graceful defense to watch.
They all move in unison. Here's the shot. It was deflected by the Concordia defense. That shot attempt by Austin Gowecki knocked away. Biola still has possession. That's Cole Baker. Baker straight away loses the ball, scoops it up. That's what you're going to get when you're Concordia and you really play off. You're not really playing press on defense here. You're not pressuring except for right now. And Cade Christensen really stick checking Biola attacker. But when Biola loses possession like that and just drops to the turf, you have no chance at picking it up because you're playing so far off your man.
They're playing like a vulture, you could say. They're waiting to feast on the Biola mistakes.
Here's Hank Bass stick checking, ball knocked loose, and Bass has it. Cradling and streaking down the far sideline, trying to keep up with him was Austin Gowecki, and he can't. Hank Bass goes right by him. Concordia on the attack, Jackson Woodard. Far sideline, under 15 minutes to go here in the second half. Mayo inside, right side. That is a shot attempt, and the shot is good by Jay Woolery. Woolery on the board here for Concordia, and they take a 5-1 lead with 14 and a half to go.
Well, they keep finding the weaknesses of that Biola defense, but we saw Dominican have a 5-1 lead in game 1, and that disappeared in a matter of minutes. So you can't get too comfortable even though you have a 4-goal lead.
And about the same amount of time left on the clock here as well in half number 2, 14 minutes to go. Dominican did have that 5-1 lead, and of course they won that first game against Notre Dame 6-4. Concordia hoping that history doesn't repeat itself here at the West Coast Private University Lacrosse Showcase. On the beautiful campus of Dominican University of California, we're here at Kennelly Field. Face off on the midfield stripe. Out there for the face-off, Ethan Espiritu. He wins it for Concordia. Sean Goodell to Jackson Woodard on the far sideline. Woodard fakes the pass, now does give it off to Bryce Tanner, who has just checked into the game with Tanner Jones. Bryce Tanner and Tanner Jones, don't get them confused, everybody. Straight away, Sean Goodell. Shot from the left side, it goes right into the chest and underneath the shirt of Caleb Koopman. You have a stick, son. You don't need to use your shirt, but anything that works for Caleb Koopman. He had a rough first half, and if he's going to use his jersey here in half number 2, I'm sure head coach Aaron Klett would say, son, use whatever part of your body you need to keep the ball out of the cage. 12:50 as the ball goes out across the far sideline. Concordia with possession. Referee blows his whistle, and we're back underway. Sean Goodell on the far side looking for a lane, can't find one. Into Tanner Woodard, and the ball is out across the sideline, behind the cage. Possession, Biola.
That would have been a goal in soccer. Went right into the big goal here at Kennelly Field.
You're absolutely right. The big goals are still on the field. Of course, they're not in play. Barely not in play. Biola with possession near sideline. Austin Goecki. Right at midfield. That's Langer. He's a big body, isn't he? Watching that first game, he reminds you a lot of Nick Becker for Dominican.
Just a little bit taller, but just as physical.
Oh, yeah. 6'3" was Nick Becker. Langer's about 6'5", 6'6", up in that range. Under 12 minutes to go, everybody. Concordia leads Biola 5-1 here in game 2. Here's Langer, far side, right side. The shot is deflected. A nice play by Tyler Schweikert in the cage. Biola remains with the ball. Here's Goecki once again working on his defender, and good physicality there by Shea Woolery. Really forcing Goecki off the ball. Oh, what a stick check there by Concordia. That was Hayden Greco knocking his man to the turf. The ball is still loose, being kicked around. Goecki tries to pick it up. He can't. Concordia on the offense. And on a fast break, that is Connor Reed. He loses the ball, now picks it back up after checking a man. Far side, spins around his man. He's pushed off. Good defense there by Biola. And that is Jacob Mendoza. We have a timeout.
No, we got
no,
offsides.
We don't. Offside, I'm sorry.
Got offsides on Concordia, but I like how Concordia picked up the physicality on defense.
I was looking at Biola's head coach, Aaron Klett. It looked like he was coming onto the field for a timeout, and there was offside. He was letting the official know if he didn't know already. That's what it was. It looked right up at coach Aaron Klett. Here's Biola now, off to our left, behind the cage, working behind the cage. It's a strategy that we've seen so far here this morning in game 1 and game 2. Pass intended for a Biola Eagle. And here's Concordia on offense. Brandon Mayo, and the shot on goal, and a goal for Daxton Allison. Daxton Allison with the goal, and it's 6-1 Concordia. It was really a 2-on-1, Mayo and Allison. And the goalkeeper, Caleb Koopman, who has had a couple of problems so far in this game already, almost stood no chance in that 2-on-1.
But Caleb Koopman getting no help from his defense, especially on that last one. Everything got congested closer to the mid-line, and no one was there to help him out. Only a 2-on-1, one Biola defender, and all Concordia had to do was make a clean pass, and it would have been an easy point.
9:45 to go in the game. 6-1 Concordia. Face-off at midfield. Once again, Ethan Espiritu wins the face-off. Well, Ethan's pretty good at those face-offs. Here's Concordia on the attack once again. Logan Perry near side. That's Mayo. Mayo trying to find a seam. He can't create one. Jacob Aho working slowly. Finds Mayo near side. Mayo working on a Biola defender. Colin Hardy tried to stick check him. Mayo will just give it back straight away to Jacob Aho. Aho working far side now, spins around, finds Carter. Carter straight away takes a shot, that's high. Right off the far post of that soccer goal, and it's going to be possession Concordia.
Concordia playing a lot more patient now. Their offense was very much in attack mode for the first half, and
another shot there by Daxton Allison. This one just does miss the pipe.
And of course, right when I say that, they take a shot. Broadcaster's jinx.
Yeah, you said it. 6-1 Concordia on offense. Working behind the cage, that was Tanner Jones. Ball is loose, trying to pick it up. Biola, and it is knocked out of bounds. Debating on whose possession it's going to be. It is going to be Concordia possession. The pass from Mayo to Tanner Jones, who scores. And that hole we were talking about, Ethan, between the legs of Caleb Koopman, that's a second one today.
And unlike the first game when the score was 5-1 entering the half, we thought that game was going to be the blowout. But it turns out now Concordia is starting to put on the gas here on Biola, not letting up, now leading it 7-1.
They're pouring it on with just under 8 minutes to go here in the second half. 7-1 Concordia. Tanner Jones with the last goal, assisted by Brandon Mayo. Face off right here in front of us at midfield. Wouldn't be surprised if, well, it's not Espiritu in there this time for Concordia. That's Shea Woolery on the face-off, and Woolery wins it. So Espiritu gets a little bit of a break from the face-offs, and Shea Woolery says, no, not to worry. I got you. Near sideline. Zachary Carter working around the cage. A little bit of a screen, not much by Tanner Jones. Here's the pass into the middle, and the shot is good for Sean Goodell. Goodell with his first goal of the morning, and it's 8-1 Concordia. Nice pass there on the side of Concordia. And they really have their offense clicking on all cylinders now.
And I like what Concordia is doing. They're not letting up with the 80-second shot clock. You can allow time to burn, but instead they're deciding to keep their foot on the gas and leading it 8-1 now.
Just looking at the score, that Dominican winning that first game 6-4 and Concordia beating Biola at the moment 8-1. Those two teams will play game 4 at about 1 o'clock this afternoon. So right now that's shaping up to be a good matchup. And frankly, so is Biola and Notre Dame. Here's another face-off with Concordia out to an 8-1 lead. That face-off is won by Concordia's Nick Flores, pass far side. That's Daxton Allison. Allison working on the Biola defender Josh Bernstein. Couple of substitutions coming on for Concordia. Slowing it down straight away is Jacob Aho. Now walking speed. Behind the goal. Zachary Carter working in, near side pass off. Shot is waved off.
Steps too far in the crease.
Inside the crease, had a foot in. Good shot though by Tanner Jones. Really bouncing in that bottom left corner. No good though. Still 8-1. Concordia leads Biola. Here's Michael Howard on the attack for Biola. Austin Gowecki with it. Gives it off to Harrison Langer. Far sideline for Biola. Newport working around the back of the cage. Coming near side. Tries to make a man miss, and good defense there by Shea Woolery, really forcing him away from the cage. Here he comes once again on the far side. Newport, good defense still by Concordia. Boy, they're loose, but they're a suffocating defense as a shot goes in for Biola. What a shot from the far side. That shot was taken by Jacob Newport. Newport with the goal, and it's 8-2. Concordia still leads with 4 minutes and 50 seconds to go here in the second half.
Just like you were saying, Concordia's defense allows Schweiker to see, but a lot of velocity on that shot and nothing he could do to keep it from going to the far top corner.
Yeah, boy, that was a hard shot by Biola's Jacob Newport. Face-off happening in midfield with 4.5 minutes to go here in the second half. Concordia Eagles 8, Biola Eagles 2. Face-off 1, that is Ethan Espiritu once again. He's checked and he loses the handle on it. Biola now with the ball. That's Austin Gowecki. Gowecki trying to get it across midfield, and Concordia frustrated that they lost the possession there. And a lot of stick checking going on. Far sideline Biola, that's Garrett Scannell. As the ball goes out behind the cage of Concordia, it'll be Concordia Irvine possession. Picking it up there is Cade Christensen. Under 4 minutes to go. Logan Perry across midfield and really pressing upfield, far side. Daxton Allison working on his defender. Can't find a crease. Well, actually, he can find the crease, but he can't find a lane to get the shot through the crease. Loose ball, far side, picked up by Tanner Jones. Jones in the far corner. Allison. Logan Perry now. Perry near side. Perry working on Langer. Perry can't get around Langer. Instead, he dumps it off. The shot is saved. What a save there by Caleb Koopman. Last second, ball pops out. And a big check as Tanner Myatt hits the floor. Concordia on offense now.
Myatt has had a bad day with body checks.
Yeah.
That's already the second time today he's hit the turf.
Second time that he's been had. And a shot from the far side. Logan Perry takes the shot. And boy, he got checked on the shot. Hands on the hips. Logan Perry with another goal, and it's 9-2 Concordia with 2:40 to go.
Well, Concordia keeping the Foot on the pedal, not letting up. 9-2, a 7-point lead with 2 minutes and 30 seconds left.
And it's a quick turnaround for Biola, as in Game 3 coming up in, well, what about 10 minutes as we have 2:20 to go here in this Game 2. Biola will be taking on Notre Dame Dana Moore in Game 3 of the West Coast Private University Lacrosse Showcase. You're watching on NorCal Sports TV. Concordia wins the faceoff. I feel like we've said that a lot today.
And that's what's helped the Concordia offense is they win so many faceoffs.
Here's Price Tanner. Yeah, really getting the offensive possession. We said it in the Dominican Notre Dame game. Dominican in the first half, their best defense was their offense. And so far, that's the case here in the second half for Concordia. Sean Goodell working near side. Goodell finds a crease and he scores. Sean Goodell. Double digits for Concordia. They lead 10-2 with a minute and a half to go.
And this is exactly what we thought the Dominican Notre Dame game was going to be. Dominican leading 5-1, but and this game looked tight for a little bit. It looked like both defenses were going to be able to lock each other down, but all of a sudden, Concordia Irvine changed their game plan, and it's worked.
1:15 to go. Get ready for the face-off. 10-2, Concordia Eagles leading the Biola Eagles. A dogfight, as Ethan called it. The face-off, ball still on the ground, being kicked around. Biola is going to pick it up. That's Michael Howard. Howard spins around a Concordia defender and gives way to Colin Hardy up toward midfield. Hardy, the defender, passes it off to Jacob Newport. Newport carrying it around, 40 seconds to go, and that's most likely going to do it here in Game 2. Newport may take a shot as the shot clock is not in effect with 35 seconds to go. Here in the second game of the West Coast Private University Lacrosse Showcase. The shot is high. That goes over the net and over Tyler Schweikert. Whistle blows. Biola still with possession behind the net for Biola. That's Jonathan Shaw. Shaw can't handle it, and good stick checking going on. Physicality put on by Cade Christensen. 10 seconds to go. Biola on the far sideline. Pass knocked up into the air, rolling around. 3-2-1, and that will do it. Whistles are being blown. 10-2 the final. Concordia over Biola here in Game 2.
Out of the 4 teams we've seen today, Concordia is by far the most all-around complete team that we've seen. Their defense is very graceful and methodical, and they don't put pressure until you get close to the crease, and that's when they'll start using stick checks. And on offense, they're a very fast striking offense, and they could put up 10 goals. And Caleb Koopman had a rough day in goal for Biola, but then again, had no help from his defense in front of him.
10-2 final. Concordia over Biola in Game 2. Game 3 coming up at 12 o'clock. It'll be Biola once again back out here at Kennelly Field against Notre Dame de Namur. You've been watching the West Coast Private University Lacrosse Showcase right here on NorCal Sports TV.